Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, there you guys are. Well, how's it going? Got some updates to do on the shooter, and I mean, the conspiracy theories are just running rampant, just all over the place, rampant. Just not saying that there isn't something could be going on, but you got people saying that there's a second gunman on the water tower. Then there was a shooter from the water tower that rappelled down from a rappel line after shooting, but it was actually an FBI sniper. There was blah 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 blah. It just goes on and on and on and on. It's like, it's more interesting though to do that. That's for sure. What's up? Not much. Yeah, I mean, the biggest question we have is why didn't they at least take Trump off the stage when they knew that there was a possible threat around, right? And for those of you who are wondering, we've got this is one of those. Let me show you up with my other close-up. Yeah, this right here. This is one of those. I have a rangefinder for golf, right? It's a Garmin, right there. But you look through it and you can just press the button and it tells you exactly how far something is away. So this is what he was using, a golf rangefinder. Maybe not this one, but a golf rangefinder, not a shooter's rangefinder. All right, that's one of the things. Then also, apparently, the rally was supposed to be at a different place. Now there's an airport right here called the Butler Farm Show Airport. I don't think that that's the one that they were talking about. I think they're talking about the Butler Regional Airport over here, and that would have been way more secure, and that's what he used to always do, is rallies at his airports. But apparently there was a car show at the airport. So then they had to switch up, and they only had a week to plan for the place they ended up being over here. Okay, well, 30 minutes away is pretty far away, yeah. Let's see. I almost moved to Butler, Pennsylvania. Oh, wow. That's, does that make you close to the case because you almost moved there 20 years ago? Here we go, everybody. Gosh, you know what? I only live about 2,500 miles away. Can you believe it? That's amazing. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Berg. I haven't talked about any woman or anything yet at this point. But hey, if you're here and you want to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. I wasn't able to do a live stream yesterday, so it got a little bit behind. So if you have the ability to, that would be great. You know, put a question or a comment in a super chat. We can discuss it. You know, I spent a lot of time getting this dialed in here. You know, you got these crazy people saying there's another shooter on the water tower because Trump has his head turned. I mean, look at the stand itself. He's actually, when he's looking over there, you see when he turns his head. I got this other video that I all made, and it makes total sense how the bullet came in from right over here. All right, so let me just play this thing that I kind of put together. Just gotta find it in here. I think this is that it. Let's see it. Yeah, maybe this one.
Party has not been united since.
No, that was my other one. I don't know. I don't think I can't find it. I just did it a second ago, though. Is it this one? I might have to open up this Adobe Premiere here really quick and export it again. Obviously, I put it in the wrong place, I think. Hey, thanks, GGT. She said, thanks for always bringing the details and... Let's see. Let me turn it. I think I turned that off. There it is. Bringing the details and computer models. Yeah. I was thinking of making a 3D model of it, but I don't know. It's like Google Earth is already so good, and it has 3D models already in it. You would just merely be building these stands here because this building's already up there. See? Like this one's already in Google Earth as a 3D model. Thank you, Wendy Van Rokel. So there's a whole bunch of new articles that have come out today, so we'll go over those in a minute. I just gotta figure out what the hell I did with the this video. I mean, we could watch it right here as well. Yeah, let me export this out. I'm pretty sure I exported it, but I don't seem to be able to see it. Yeah. Do that. That way I can have the full screen show it. Apparently he was looking at porn before. I mean, that doesn't that's not really surprising regardless. I mean, you know. He had a picture of Kate Middleton he downloaded. It's almost like he wanted to go out and like take out leaders and just disrupt government in some way. But he got so lucky to be able to get into that area. It's crazy. Apparently he hid the gun the day, you know, like maybe like earlier in the morning or the night before, whatever. They don't really know where or when he hit it, but I wonder if he showed up with the backpack and then once he retrieved the gun from a hidden location, maybe in a bush or something, he then puts it in the backpack because he's already inside the area, and it's one of those foldable, I'm guessing, AR-15s. What's the test for my storage? We don't have time for crap like that. All right. Let's see. The woman is not the FBI woman. Nobody knows what that means. What was the area like where the people were pointing out to the shooter? What do you mean? It was just an open kind of a field over there. What was the area like where the people were pointing? Were they standing on grass covered land? Yeah, it's grass over there. We've shown it. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're getting at with that question. Second. It looks like it's almost done exporting, but it's not quite done yet. What was the area where they were on the grass land? I know, I've shown it like literally 1,000 times. I don't really know what they were just standing over here, a lot of the people, inside of these trees even, to get out of the sun. And they were pointing up to somebody, you know, like right over here, really. And they were pointing to somebody up on the roof over here. Now, some people are saying that he put a ladder up over here. He got up over onto the roof and then walked across. And the ladder that was put here, like we said, was probably put there by the people that went on the roof later. Yeah, it looks like it made it. God, where the hell is it? It's amazing. Hold on. Media. Yeah, it went to working 7/18. It's called. Oh yeah, I guess it was called timing sequence. So right there at the bottom. All right.
Party has not been united since Ronald Reagan like it is right now. It was united under Ronald Reagan the second time. It was very united, and they said there's never been anything like it. They've never seen a movement like this. Make America great again. You know, Joe Biden talks about we have to stop MAGA. MAGA means make America great again, Joe. It means make America great again. That's all we want to do. If he was doing the job, I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be in some beautiful place with a gorgeous ocean, the Mediterranean, the Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look.
Thank you.
There he is right there. Right there, you see him? He's laying down, you see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And Senator, with you fighting like hell to get a senator elected and to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he
It's
is.
not easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened. We have the strongest border ever. In recorded history, we had the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
He's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
He got him, he said. 15 seconds.
We're watching a rally right now. Former President Trump was just in the middle of a speech when what sounded like possible shots were fired. We saw the president,
that's the roof right there.
take cover.
At the same
Security is
time.
now surrounding him and getting him out of the event.
Let me get my shoes. Hold over your head. So we're gonna move to caution. Watch out.
USA, 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 USA. We love you, Trump.
Isn't that crazy? Like right there, that shooter's right up here. Like see this group of trees and this one? He's already been shot, but he's right there. And now there's people running around, kind of looking.
Hit it like you mean.
There's no place open out there.
Nowhere else for us to go.
The army.
So there's some like edited time here. I think they're trying to get over onto the roof over there. Yeah, now here's the guys up. They're up on the roof here, see? They're right next to him. He's on the ground. They're looking at him. So I guess they're a little bit further over on there. Let me look. Okay, so they're actually to the left of that one. Okay. So let's see if we can... I mean, we've already got it all dialed in to where the spot is, but I guess if you're looking at the building behind it. Yeah. Well, anyway, the guy that was filming that must have been right. I think they were right over here. And there must be a tree off to the right. There's that tree behind it, but yeah. Anyways, those guys are up on the roof where his body was. And we already know where his body was. We figured out, we counted, it was the 20th sort of corrugated line, or whatever you want to call it, over here. That's where his body was, because blood was dripping down like this. And then his AR-15 was 4 or 5 over. And then the backpack was down here. Because what I think he did was he climbed up the ladder with the backpack. Then he took the item out of the backpack. That's why it was turned sideways in that one video at the top. And he did that to kind of shield himself, because the other direction nobody can see him, but down there he knew people could, so he took the gun out and he was putting it together, and then he started shimmying his way up to the apex of the top of the roof. So he came out here, put the gun together, took it out of the backpack, and then he shimmies his way up here, but he had his back this towards this way, so that people couldn't see what he was doing. Yeah, and then there was when people were saying, hey, there's somebody up there, somebody's up there, there was an officer and another, two officers, I guess, and one lifted the other one up. And when he looked up there, I guess apparently the shooter turned around and aimed the gun at him, so he let go and went back to the ground. And then the shooter sped up his time, where he quickly like shimmied up there and just started shooting. And there's people that think there's multiple shooters, but I think the AR-15 that he was using did all the shots. I'm not an expert or anything like that. But what I think he did was he took the first couple shots at Trump. He might have even thought he hit him because of the reaction. And then he just did volleys kind of generally at the crowd, just kind of like, just spraying around. That's why some flew this direction. They were just like hitting the guy right here, the comparator, the firefighter. Like that's where he was. So, I mean, those bullets wouldn't have been anywhere near Trump, because the trajectory would be, even if you moved over a little bit, it's still kind of like over in this area. And we saw one bullet hit kind of up here on one of the rails of this stand, so that means it would have came in like this. So he just started, firing, I think, and that's why he hit, I guess, 3 people, killing one of them. So let's just go over some of these news articles. But hey guys, if you're out there, make sure to help support the channel. I know I'm not one, like the ones that are putting out all the cool conspiracy shit, but I need help on this channel as well. So if you have the ability to, that'd be great, because there is no ad revenue on these live stream shows about the shooter. Okay, all right. Here we go. This is Thomas Crook's search for porn shooting before shooting Trump. The last search Thomas Crooks made on his cell phone before attempting to assassinate Donald Trump was for pornography, a senior law enforcement source tells the Daily Beast. Hey, thanks, Pauline Buckles. The source, who asked not to be named, said the FBI Operational Technology Division in Quantico, Virginia, made the discovery when it finally gained access to the contents of 20-year-old Crook's encrypted Samsung phone. Initial attempts at the Pittsburgh field office to crack open the Android failed, and the device was flown to Quantico on an FBI plane. The only other recent activity on the phone which the FBI discovered were texts from his parents asking where he was. The source says the parents thought their son had taken the AR-style rifle and gone to the shooting range. Okay, so he'd gone there the day before, and maybe they originally thought, hey, maybe he went to the range. So I guess there could be both of those stories that came out could be true. I don't know. The text began around 1 p.m. and continued throughout the afternoon. By 6 p.m., he was dead, the source says. According to the source, the FBI was largely completed its examination of the phone's contents and is now at work on the gunman's laptop and a number of hard drives which were recovered from his bedroom. The agents hope to find clues as to why someone with no clear political motivation or a known psychiatric disorder clambered upon a rooftop at a Trump rally in Butler, PA, with an assault rifle and attempted to kill Trump. He only grazed the former president, but wounded 2 rally attendees, one fatally, before he was killed. And I mean, I even pointed out where, you could see that close-up of his ear I showed you guys the other day, and obviously you could see a part of his ear was missing. And now there's actually a video. I saw a video where you could almost see it go through the ear. I'm not sure if that was edited or what that was, but it was pretty crazy. The agents hope to find clues as to why. Okay, and that says he only grazed the president's ear. Along with 4 rifle magazines beside Crook's body, agents found a remote control capable of detonating explosives. The discovery of searches for pornography did not surprise law enforcement. It's not unusual, the source said. noting that Sandy Hook Elementary School mass shooter Adam Lanza had images of child abuse on his phone, and the numerous Al-Qaeda suspects have been found to have searched for extreme pornography along with tracks for Islamic purity. But it will add to the picture FBI profiles are building of crooks who lived with his parents 40 miles from the Trump rally venue. He had graduated from community college and was working in a skilled nursing and rehabilitation center near his home. Other reporting have revealed that he searched for both Trump and Joe Biden. He also looked for Joe Biden's, DNC location. He also looked for information on the Democratic National Convention. Early Friday, CNN reported that he searched for information about Ethan Crumley, which is weird because we were talking about Ethan Crumley, the kid that I guess he went to school and shot up some people, and then his parents got also charged. So you sort of wonder if that's what he was looking up. Like, will my parents get charged? Yeah. I don't think the water tower has anything to do with anything. Could, but I think people, here's the way it works when you have a case like this. People like to make it more interesting so they can make more videos by pretending there is something else going on. I mean, JLR is one of those people, but boy, it sure works for him, man. You can put out a title that says something like, oh my God, shooter was a Al-Qaeda member. And then he does a video and it's absolutely not related. But everybody loves it, man. Hey, that's good shit, man. That's the greatest shit in the world. I think it's embarrassing, Everything's a conspiracy. But you guys love it, man. You guys watch it. Look at the views those suckers get, man. It's amazing. And I'm over here struggling to get support on a show where I'm, going over the actual real information again. You see what I'm saying? It sucks. All right, here we go. Trump's would-be assassin researched previous mass shooter Ethan Crumley and his family before attack. The Trump rally shooter searched online for information on the arrest of a Michigan mass shooter and his parents who were prosecuted in 2021 high school shooting. He visited websites for how to build explosives, and in the minutes before he fired shots in an attempted assassination of Donald Trump, he screenshotted a picture from a live stream of the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. Wow. That's crazy. A week before the shooting, Thomas Matthew Crooks searched online for the date of the Democratic National Convention and where Trump planned to speak, as well as other searches for Trump and President Joe Biden. These details were among those shared by FBI and U.S. Secret Service officials in a Wednesday briefing with lawmakers and by additional people familiar with the investigation. Hey, Georgina Stoliker gifted a membership. All right. What was that? I don't know what he was going to do. What the DNC, maybe he just wanted to go to it and sort of bask in the glory of what people were saying without him being known. Who knows? A week before the shooting, Thomas Matthew Crooks searched online for the date of the DNC. These details were among those shared by FBI, U.S. Secret Service officials in a Wednesday briefing with lawmakers and by additional people familiar with the investigation. The previously unreported readout documents the scope of the investigation, including an expanded timeline of the would-be assassin's actions leading up to his assault. Investigators remain puzzled about possible motives for Saturday's attempted assassination of the former president, finding little to point to political or ideological intentions for the attack. And welcome, Rue TT Trackers. You got a free membership, and hey, thanks for the super chat. And if you have a question you want to talk about, put it in the super chat. We'll read it on the screen. One emerging theory by investigators, based in part on timing and the subjects of his online searches, is that the shooter was looking to carry out a mass shooting, and that the Trump event's proximity and timing offered the most ready opportunity, according to U.S. officials. But he shot at the president. I mean, it wasn't like, it's not just a mass shooting. Hey, thanks, Debbie Joe. Hey, thank you, she said. You are truly factual. Really appreciate it. Well, there you go. Some people actually appreciate it. You know, here's the thing. I was way ahead on my channel of the timing of everything. That it was at minimum 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 3 seconds when people were looking. And the other day when the media said there was 26 seconds between the first shot and when he was killed, that's absolutely inaccurate. It was 15 seconds, and now that's out there. You know, so it's like we already had this information for a long time. Okay, that last little crack you sound, that's him being taken out by the sniper. And Trump said in his speech, he said that it was, the guy was much further away. So I think he's talking about this guy on the barn back here, because there was a second unit sniper team here, and they had a clear line of sight, as you can see. See, if we just go down to here like this, and that's exactly where the shooter was, right? However, if you go back and go to where the other sniper team was that we all see all the time, they're right here, and I think this tree completely blocked their view. So they said, oh well, we could just barely see his head above the back of the slope, but I think this is the one that took him out right here. And if it was, the water tower is much closer to that area. I mean, it is mind-boggling. I mean, what a great place to have put a sniper, you know, on the water tower, because you could see everywhere. But it sounds like that we've been told that it was the south barn position of Secret Service that shot. Now, people go, oh, you don't believe everything you're told, you know. But, I mean, isn't there a point where you just, I mean, unless there's absolute proof of something else, that you just kind of go with that? Let's see. So, hey, thanks, Mo Show Me and Katcha T. Now, there isn't a second shooter, in my opinion. Every single thing that happened could have been done right here. Just look. So, I mean, it's not even that far off. So look at where Corey Comparator is. This is where the shooter is, right here. I mean, almost exactly like that. So he shoots, and, you know, and then he starts doing the, you know, the multi, you know, it's got and he probably lost his control at that point. Because look, I mean, look at where Corey's just right over here. He got hit. And then there was a couple other people that got hit over in these stands because the bullets, you know, passed him over here. And then he shot one that was kind of wide, like went over the podium because it hit over here on a rail and then went off, and there was a person standing there. And I think there was a couple people here that got shot. Now, there's a guy out there on Twitter that's saying that there was another person shot over here, and we do see what looks like blood, but I'm kind of not thinking that's what that is now. I think it's something like that's a Trump hat, probably. That's some sort of a sign. This right here is blood from Comparator, and even if that was blood, it would be because somebody was helping try to save his life, and blood got transferred over into that area. This was the only person that was shot over here, so that bullet was really wild. However, it's not. Let's just draw a line from. So what I'm doing is, I think where the AR-15. Well, you know what, I'm gonna have to change that. I think I have a new thought on it. So I think right where he is found is where the shots came from. I think the AR-15 was moved after the fact to Just, you know how they do that? They kind of slide it aside away from the person. Gray, what are your thoughts on the BlackRock photos? The encrypted emails, yeah, and the cross-dresser stuff. I haven't seen the cross-dresser stuff, but I know that he has... And it turns out they're encrypted accounts, not emails. And I'm not sure how that got mistranslated, but they're encrypted accounts. Like, I think Telegram, something like that's an overseas like a website, but it's absolutely encrypted. And they have to go get subpoenas and get all that crap done. Yeah, I haven't heard the cross-dressing stuff. I did see the video where it sort of seemed a little like that when the person was teasing him. And the BlackRock, I'm not really knowledgeable about BlackRock, he was just in a commercial with it, just for about like 2 seconds. They pan across and he's sitting there. I mean, I could look it up. Let's see. I mean, what's the conspiracy angle of BlackRock? Like, what are people saying about it? If the FBI can't find, how do you think the photo came out? I don't know what you're saying, Whiskey Boots. I think they are a security contractor of sorts. Yeah, don't they go over to, like, they were in the Middle East and Iraq and so forth, sending out units. Owns America. Jesus. Man, you're one of those conspiracy nutters? Jesus. What's not real? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Whiskey Boots. All right, let me go on to this one. So we're gonna just put that right there, and that's the sniper shot. So let's go. Let me just put another one, another line here. Start it right here. Okay. And so these aren't like ludicrously different. So I'm going right over comparator here. See, the thing is, if you're just off slightly where the initiation of the gunshot is, it can be off by 10, like 20 feet at the location it hits at some point. So right there. And then there was another one that, I mean, basically there was another one that kind of came in to the side here. So let me do that. Oops. I want this one. Not sure what that is. So there's another one that kind of came up and hit basically right up there. So you see how those aren't like... His first two shots he tried to hit Trump with. And then I think the other ones he just kind of went, he's already on the ground. He's like, and then I think a shot came in and it kind of disoriented him, because apparently there was a local police officer that shot at him. And then the sniper shot took him out, but there was no more shooting. There was about like 8 or 9 seconds where there was no shooting. And he's still alive. And I guess the magazines hold 30 bullets, right? So, and then the clips hold 10, but I guess you put 3 clips in one of the magazines, I guess. I don't understand what that means. What means marshmallow? See, whenever you type something in, just type in a full sentence so people can actually know what you're talking about. Like if I went in, wow, that's awesome. Well, what would I be talking about? All right, so let's go over to, I got those 3 in there. Yeah, so look at that. That's not like totally crazy, right? Like he shot, boom, boom, and then he just went, just kind of spraying around because Trump was already down and out of sight. So then he shoots these other ones. Because by the time, if you notice the timing, if you go back to the video.
Party has not been united. In fact, if they could have America great again.
Yeah, he's laying down.
So if you notice, I start the clock right when somebody in this video looks up there. Obviously, people were seeing this person before that, so there's a minimum of 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So I'm going to go right to here.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
See, that's already the first shot. 203. He did 3 really controlled shots trying to hit Trump. This is how I'm perceiving this. He had 3 shots. All those bullets almost hit Trump. And I don't think. I think maybe at that point one of the guys got hit in the stands to the right, but I think Comparator was hit after, and that's coming up. So now that he goes to the ground, everybody's diving. Let's see. See, everybody's diving on him now, right? Now he's like trying to just do whatever damage he can do, right? And I think that's still the, they say it sounds different, but to me it's because they're not individual shots. He's doing the, when you can quickly shoot those AR-15s.
Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah, and see, that's it. Like 203 to 20, let's see. And then there was that last one. So 203 to 209 are all of his shots, right? So now he's on the roof, but he's not shooting anymore, and he only had shot 8 bullets. So what do you think he was doing now? Like, why did he not keep shooting? Because watch, in 6 seconds you'll hear one faint, and that's the sniper taking him out. Listen.
You'll be turning this way. Be careful, guys.
Hear that? Right there. So it's like 15, almost 16 seconds. Like 15 point something, right? And hey, if you've been watching this channel, we put this out like the next day. We already had it. Yeah, so I mean, something might have happened on that roof where he felt like he didn't want to keep shooting. Something happened up there. And we have the story about an officer maybe shooting at him. Could that have been where he's like, oh crap, and he's trying to like shimmy away, and perhaps that would be the story where the gun was located where the shootings took place, and then he shimmied over to the right and left his gun, but I don't think so. I don't know why he didn't keep shooting. I think he was trying to get out of there at that point. All right. But I mean, when you look at that, does that seem unreasonable? That like he's this guy who was a bad shot apparently, anyways, and then he starts going, and then that's why these bullets, one of them hits Comparator. Now, here's what we know, right? We know that Comparator was killed protecting his family. So that means there were already shots that were fired, those first 3, and then he went over and he covered his family, and then or he was going to anyways, or he was, I guess that's how it was. And then the shots came in and killed him, because that was the second volley, that stuff. That's what killed him, I believe. I think the other 2 people could have been shot and killed by I mean, it's a miracle that more people didn't get hit. But, the way he was shooting, some of them probably went high. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them hit one of this building over here. Wouldn't shock me a bit. But by the way, so when you see that right there, doesn't that make the, oh, there's somebody up on the water tower, that's how this other guy got hit and stuff. Makes more sense, right? Because by the way, if you're on the water tower, how in the hell does Corey Comparator get hit? You'd have to be the worst shot in the world. Look at that. He's way over here to the right. You see? And then Trump's way over here. So, you know, you guys can believe whatever the hell you want to believe, but I'm just saying, I think that what we're going to hear, we don't know what the reason for the shooter is. That's what I'm interested in. We don't know if he was in contact with somebody overseas. We don't know any of those things. That's what I'm more interested in. And I'm interested in knowing why they didn't take Trump off the stage when they knew that there was a threat. Just everything about, I want to know all the details of why the hell there was such an egregious error going on. I mean, just stupid. And we've learned that the Secret Service they have a green light at all times. There isn't any, but I could see one person made a good point, that there was a guy on the roof, and at first they might have been like, well, is that guy our guy? Because they're supposed to be, like a sniper on that roof too or something. And so maybe there was a little hesitation there. No. Why did they let him go on stage if they knew? Well, I know, I just said that. Man, it's always weird when somebody repeats exactly what you just said. Let's see. Investigators remain puzzled about people's motives, or possible motives, for Saturday's attempted assassination of the former president, finding little to point to political or ideological intentions for the attack. But the would-be assassin recent trail on the internet has provided investigators with a detailed picture of his possible mindset before the attack. FBI behavioral experts are building a profile of crooks based on the findings, the FBI told lawmakers. One emerging theory by investigators, based in part on the timing and subjects of his online searches, is that the shooter was looking to carry out a mass shooting and that the Trump event's proximity and timing offered the most ready opportunity. Except he tried to go after Trump specifically first. Unlike other mass shooters who often leave behind manifesto or writings to explain their attack, crooks left behind few clues in his bedroom or online. Investigators recovered a rudimentary explosive devices from his car, along with a bulletproof vest, additional magazines of the type he used in the attack, and a drone, according to the officials who briefed lawmakers Wednesday. At the family home, they also recovered 14 firearms and additional explosives, along with a second cell phone, a laptop, and a hard drive. Investigators have focused on Crook's online activity in the months and days before the attack. Family members and people he worked with described him as quiet and a loner, but haven't indicated that he showed any signs of planning an attack. In April, he searched websites for information on major depressive disorder and depressive crisis treatment. On his primary cell phone, investigators found an image of the arrest photo of Ethan Crumley, the student who shot and killed 4 classmates at a Michigan high school in 2021, along with information about Crumley and his parents, who were both found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, the first time parents of a school shooter have been prosecuted. So maybe he was wondering what would happen to his parents. 3 days after the Trump campaign announced the rally in Butler, a western Pennsylvania town about an hour from Crook's home, Crooks made numerous searches online for well-known political figures and political events. He searched for the date and location of the DNC, which takes place in August in Chicago, and for the location of the Trump rally. He also searched for information on Trump, Biden, and other major political figures. On the day of the rally, Crooks made several internet searches, including for photos of location of Trump's speech, and for a local gun store not far from his home where he purchased bullets that day. Investigators have found data showing that Crooks had visited the location of the rally a week before it was to be held. Wow. Okay, well now we know he was there a week prior. And on the morning of the rally, he visited the farm where the rally was to be held for over an hour. Wow, so he was there in the morning. He then went home, and investigators believe he retrieved an AR-15 rifle owned by his father. Crook's father told investigators that he saw his son leave the home with the rifle and believed he was going to a shooting range that the two had frequented. He saw his son leave the home. Okay. So that's weird. So now that sort of contradicts the other story that they said the day before he went there. Yeah. So here's the thing. So when he takes the gun and he goes to the, Dad thinks, oh, he's going to the range, and then there's a shooting of Trump. Why do you think the dad immediately thought, wow, my son's missing, he might be the shooter? Right? I mean, if you had a son that you had no worries about, I don't think you'd even have that would even cross your mind. But apparently the father, it did cross his mind. You see? And so I'm kind of trying to figure out, like, what was it that the dad knew about his son, or the things that he said? I mean, what do you guys think? And hey, guys, if you're out there and you're able to help support my channel, I would really appreciate it. This channel actually also not only does factual information, but I donate a ton of money from the income that comes into the channel. We've given over $206,000 since January of 2020, and we're only able to do that because of you guys. So if you're out there and you're able to, I would appreciate you considering supporting the channel, and maybe put a message in the super chat and we can read it on the screen. All right. But basically the channel relies on you guys for the live streams. Anyways, the videos, they make some sort of ad revenue, but not anywhere near. Same here, thing with Crumley. They knew Ethan had problems. Right. But he didn't I know, I just said that, Sandy Shirley. I just said that exact thing that you just typed in. All right, anyways, I just said the whole thing. What you just said. I don't know why people do that. They repeat, like, literally exactly what you just said. Anyways, let me get to over here. Let's see. On the day of the rally, Crooks made several internet searches. Investigators have found data showing that Crooks had visited the location of the rally a week before it was to be held. And on the morning of the rally, he visited the farm where the rally was to be held for over an hour. He then went home, and investigators believe he retrieved an AR-15 rifle owned by his father. Crook's father told investigators that he saw his son leave the home with the rifle. I just read this a minute ago. And believed he was going to the shooting range that the two had frequented. On the day of the rally, his parents attempted to reach out to Crooks to find him. He didn't respond. All right, let's see. Could parents of Trump's rally shooter face legal consequences? Unclear, experts say. The 20-year-old Pennsylvania man who attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump conducted internet searches into a recent high-profile shooting that brought landmark convictions against both of that shooter's parents for ignoring warning signs. Yeah, well, the fact that the parent literally said that, I already answered that, though. Yeah. So anyways, what I'm saying is, That's not what I'm talking about. That's not the answer to the question, Sandy. His son was supposed to go to the range. And then when the son isn't coming back from the range, why does he immediately think that his son might be the shooter? Because I think most parents might, maybe he went and got a burger. He went somewhere to eat, something like that. There's a reason why the parents thought, because it was after the shooting, I think, or maybe, I'm not sure when it was that they called. Was it before? Well, let me ask you this. I've heard a couple different ways, but there's some people out there that say that they heard the call, that they called the police before the shooting, which would be weird in itself, because that means they knew. That would even be strange, because that means they were aware that the Trump rally was coming around, and that their son had some sort of weird obsession of some kind, and that they might be thinking he might be doing something. Because why would you call for a missing person, just in the daytime like that? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Yeah, maybe they found a note or something. I don't know. They say that there wasn't one. Maybe they burnt the note. Do we have any intel from his cell phone? Well, that's what they were saying, that he did all these searches. I'm not sure if that's from his cell phone or the laptop, though. I don't remember now. And thank you, Bryn is Brat. Bryn is Brat. Well, of course he was armed. I think he had 2 arms. Yeah, that's from, what was it? Reno 911. You guys ever watch that show? They go to the fast food, what was it? Somebody tried to rob a fast food restaurant, and then the cops came up, and the lady passed the cops a note, and it said, "There's 2 armed men in here." And he goes, "Of course they have 2 arms." They just drove away like it was nothing. Yeah, that was a good one. James and Jennifer Crumbly were each sentenced to 10 to 15 years. The AR-15 rifle used in Saturday's attack was owned by the gunman's father, Matthew Crooks. Law enforcement said the gun was legally purchased in 2013. Matthew Crooks called police before the shooting. Oh, so that's the father's name? So he has Thomas Matthew Crooks. Called police before the shooting at the rally, concerned about his son and his whereabouts. So I guess that was. So he called the police before the rally. See, I think that part is weird, right? That means he thinks that he might be out to do something. Now, law enforcement said the gun was legal. Let's see. Son whereabouts. The family is cooperating with federal investigators. Concerned about his son and his whereabouts before the shooting. I mean, why would you be that concerned? Your son goes to the range, and maybe he's out getting a McDonald's or hanging out somewhere, but you're going to call the cops? That means, I don't know. It almost makes you think that there wasn't never anything that he thought his son was going to the range. I bet you he saw his son. So what he said he saw his son leaving and assumed he went to the range. See, that's the thing. He assumed he went to the range. But then maybe he, upon thinking about it later, he went, oh man, he got the Trump rally. He doesn't like Trump. And then he calls the cops, just kind of wondering, hey, I mean, I don't know. Is he covering his ass by making that phone call? But, I mean, he gave out a warning about his son then. Basically, if he called before the shooting, he gave his son's name, and that's a person. So that seems like they're not trying to cover something at that point, because they could have caught him just based on that. And another thing, doesn't it bother you guys that law enforcement didn't actually like just go up and ask him a couple of questions? They just keep watching him like weirdo, like I mean, to me it's just really strange that you're just filming him like you're stalking him. You're stalking the killer, but you never actually walk up to him and go, "Hey, you know, what's going on? You seem to be looking around. You've got this and this and this." And in fact, they should never have taken the eye off of him. I know, I just said before, yeah. Okay, so she checked the range. Yeah, I was wondering about that a minute ago when I was talking about that. So they checked the range and he wasn't there, but why would they be worried about him? See, again, to me that means that they knew something. To me, the fact that they're that concerned calling the cops means that they knew something. And they already had this guy, they were tracking him around. They should have put somebody on him, like just one cop or somebody assigned just to follow him around once they started, especially when they saw him use the rangefinder. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think the parents have anything to do with planning something. I just think they were absolutely aware of their son. That's why they were nervous when he didn't come home, and probably after the shooting. Yeah. No, I haven't done the Broadcastify. I think they use secure channels. Anyways. But I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get some support going for the channel today, you guys. Another one of those dead zones. Adam Garber, Executive Director of Ceasefire PA, Gun Violence Prevention Organization in Pennsylvania, said the detail of that call to local police or what the parents knew and when could yield more answers as to whether charges may be brought. The DA will need to ask two questions. First, this is about charging the family. What do the parents know about their son's intentions? And I think the fact that if they did call twice, that shows that they knew their son had the propensity to do something. Because, you know, especially like the first call, why are you already calling? And then after the shooting, oh my God, we think our kid did it, you know, basically, right? Well, let's see what it says in this one. New details on Trump shooter released. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof.
So he's right there.
There he is right there. Right there.
You can see that he has his back. This is where he's laying up here. He has his back to people that could actually see him. And I think that's where he's putting the gun together.
See him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
What do you mean? What part of the thing you can't show, Raven? What are you talking about? You mean when they're showing the bloody body parts or what? I'm just showing, you know, just footage. There's no gore or anything in it, you know. Yeah. Thomas Crooks had conducted internet searches for mass shooter Ethan Crumbley. Yeah, I already said that. Crumbley was 15 years old. I don't really care about keep talking about the crumbly thing. Maybe he just felt like he wanted to be famous. Thanks, Linda Howe. The small Pittsburgh suburb of Bethel Park in Pennsylvania is reeling after the FBI named a young local man as the person who shot at Donald Trump during a campaign rally. Investigators believe that Thomas Matthew Crooks armed with an AR-15 rifle. Well, of course he did. We don't just believe it. This is from today. What's down here? Oh, yeah, I want to watch this.
My friend's mom came downstairs and said, "Do you know who this is?" They're saying it's a 20-year-old from Bethel Park. His name's Thomas Crooks, and I just was so shocked because this was someone I had been in history class with. I had been in classes with, we had graduated with him, and it was just something I would have never seen coming. He was always getting good grades on tests, everything like that. He was very passionate about history, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. He was a nice kid, and I had never had an experience with him where I was like, he, you know, isn't nice. He was always nice, and I was always friendly to him.
He did sit alone at lunch. Like, he was always alone. I mean, he was bullied every day. Like, you could look at him and you would be like, something's a little off. That's how I could describe it.
How you feel knowing that
he's on the street?
Yeah.
Probably how anybody else would feel, you know.
Yeah. So far, confusing and at times conflicting pictures have emerged of who Crooks was as a person. Hey, thank you, Terry G. Linda Howe, Georgina Stoliker, and Terry G. Speaking to local news outlet KDKA, some young locals who went to school with him described him as a loner who was frequently bullied and sometimes... I don't buy into the bullying crap at all. I think it's an excuse used. Who were the victims of the shooting? Corey Comparator 50, and then there was 57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Koppenhaver. Both men are Pennsylvania residents and in stable condition. How far was he from Donald Trump? Well, I mean, I can tell you. I can just do it myself. I mean, if I take the one that goes right over Trump here and move it right to there, then we've got 461 feet. See, a lot of these people have the wrong. They always tie, oh, it's 350. This one guy says, based on the sound, the shooter was 380 feet away. Well, no, we don't need to do based on the sound, okay? We don't need to do based on the sound. What we need to do based on is, you know, the location of where he was. I mean, he's found dead right here, okay? Let me see if I can... Yeah, I mean, I have it right on that spot, okay? And so the distance on that one is, let's go down, make sure it's right on the money. And the distance on that, let's do yards, is 154 yards. Okay, so is there any way that's not accurate right there? You know, it's right around that distance. And there's really nowhere up on the roof here that you get into the 300-foot range. I mean, I could probably, let's see what happens. If I take that, move, I'll let you guys watch here, measurement. Okay, let's get to the feet, where these guys are talking about 390 feet. That's 390 feet right there. Okay, that's not even, you're not even on the building yet. You see how crazy this is getting out here? With everybody going, oh yeah, I know, I got it all figured out. We figured it out. We got the... It's just not accurate. It drives me nuts. Just like when Fox News said it was a minute 26 when they first noticed him on the roof to the first gunshots, and that isn't true either. That isn't true either, right? And this shot from this sniper is approximately 551 feet, or in yards, 184 yards, almost 2 football fields. What am I saying that's so controversial? What are you saying? I don't know. I can't read any of your comments. Father of Trump gunman called police about son before attack. So we'll get more details about that. The father of the gunman who tried to assassinate Donald Trump called police before the Saturday shooting because he was concerned about his son, according to media reports. Okay, media reports. The call is one of a number of red flags revealed in recent days that law enforcement was notified about before gunshots rang out at, well, you don't know what they said on the phone call, though. Trump, Pennsylvania rally on Saturday. Law enforcement, specifically the U.S. Secret Service, has faced mounting questions about security with calls by some lawmakers that the head of the agency should resign. Matthew Crook's father called police because he was worried about his son and his whereabouts, a law enforcement source told the BBC News partner CBS. It's unclear when the call was made, but it was before the shooting. It is unclear what his father told police. Fox News reported that Crook's parents, Mary and Matthew, told officers they were worried about their son and that he had disappeared without any advance notice. So they saw him leaving the house that morning and assumed, oh, he probably went to the range because he noticed his AR-15 was missing. And then maybe, like Sandy Shirley said, if they actually, the mother called the range to check, something I was wondering about that. Maybe that's why they thought he was missing. But if that's a true thing, then, that would explain why they're like, but why are they doing that, though, you see? Like, if their son took off and you assumed he went to the range, why did you eventually check the range? Did he leave his cell phone he had a cell phone with him, apparently, right? So he wasn't answering your calls, right? So you kind of wonder what was going on in the house, what they knew about their son prior. It is unclear what his father told police. Fox News reported that Crook's parents, Mary and Matthew, told officers they were worried about their son and that he had disappeared without any advance notice. Hey, thanks so much. Pink Peak, a small gratuity for all the hard work you do. Enjoy the new channel. Love and respect from Texas. Well, hey, thank you so much. Very kind, very kind. I do like the new channel where we just, it was fun yesterday just playing the full night, convention. I know it's like a 5-hour stream. I think the hour and a half Trump speech took up a lot of it. I mean, that was a lot of time. Well, that's what they said. Aquanet, they said that. He even searched the Crumbly family. And we just discussed that whole situation just before you made that comment. So I don't know if you weren't here or... Let's see. The preliminary investigation has found that Crooks climbed onto the roof. Let me see it. Let me read up here. He had saved images of Trump, President Joe Biden. Anyways. Attorney General Merrick Garland, FBI Director Chris Wray, and a member of the British royal family. I think it was Kate Middleton. Investigators are still trying to trace potential motive for the 20-year-old gunman who was shot dead by Secret Service snipers after opening fire His attack left one member of the audience dead and several others wounded. The preliminary investigation has found that Crooks climbed onto the roof of a nearby building outside the rally by climbing onto an air conditioning unit. Okay, but now there's other people that keep saying that there was another ladder. The units were located next to the building, the unnamed office official told CBS. So you can actually see some of these. I mean, there's an air conditioning unit right back here. And there's also, there isn't one over here, but this is where a ladder was. Now there's other images out there that show a ladder over here that people are claiming that he put there. But I don't know. Don't you think it'd be weird to have a rangefinder, an AR-15, and a ladder? It's like, hey everybody, I'm a shooter. I mean, it's ridiculous. A ladder, AR-15, and a rangefinder. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess he could have put a ladder there earlier and hoped, people wouldn't even notice it or something. But man, are you kidding me? The preliminary investigation has found that Crooks climbed onto the roof of a nearby building outside the rally. Witness says he saw a gunman on a roof near Trump rally. Trump gunman flagged by secret. When's this one? Oh, that's the... Oh, that's crazy. Oh yeah, let's listen to this guy again now.
So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump.
Here, hold on, let's see what this says. I'm still in shock, and I can't really shake. I kind of feel still weird about the whole thing. I do feel the head of Secret Service should step down. God save President Trump's life. I'm subbed to the new channel and will watch. Thank you. Hey, yeah. Yeah, you could tell. I mean, I think most people who watched that first part, at least, of his speech where he went through what happened and how he felt and everything, when he said he shouldn't be here, and the crowd goes, yes, you should, and he goes, no, I really shouldn't be. And he's right, Like, in terms of, like, the odds, it's just so crazy. That he just happened to turn his head just enough right then.
I'm speaking, I'm estimating here, I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling.
That guy's frustrated.
And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%.
This guy over here is just
he was up
a
there
tool.
for a couple of minutes.
He was up
you
there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service?
What's weird is he was saved by looking at a chart of the biggest issue in basically one of the biggest issues in the campaign, the border. I think every American is probably like, man, yeah, we got to do something about people just pouring into the country. But yeah, I mean, isn't it weird? He's looking up at the chart, and he's like, just having to sort of do one extra little turn, and that's when the shot came by. Man, pure luck. Or something else. Oops. I think I already did that one. Let me go back. Let's see. A counter sniper flagged a suspicious man using a rangefinder. And by the way, if you missed the beginning of the show, this is what they're talking about. See, I have a golf rangefinder. It looks like this, you know, and this is a really amazing one. If you pair it with your phone, you get the wind, how far downhill it is, everything. But this is what it looks like. So you can, you turn it on and then you just press a button, kind of press it down, and it has like a crosshair, and it'll tell you how far that object is that you have it clicked on. It's a golf rangefinder. Isn't that awesome, you guys? I brought a prop just for you guys. I didn't. I already had it. And he was going to reference the chart. Oh yeah, he brought it up earlier, huh? Jeez. That's crazy. A rangefinder is an instrument that can be used to help measure distance. Right. Local police initially spotted the gunman, who was acting strangely and had a backpack, about an hour before the shooting. I bet you the gun was not in that backpack at the time. He just had the backpack because he was going to use it later. They believe he stashed the gun. They lost him in the crowd, but he was spotted again by the sniper. I was looking at the, let me show you this. I still have this open. Oh. Close all. So if you go to Right Side Broadcasting, they filmed they were there for 10 hours prior. So I'm kind of just wondering, I've tried to go back, it's hard to stare at something for 10 hours. Let me see. Yeah, it's not in this one. Hold on. It's taking too long. Might be in this one. Yeah, this could be it. Yeah, so this is 10 hours long. And the shooting happens right over here. That's why I have it. But let's just wait till it kicks in here. There it is. The audio's in. It's such a big file. I think there is tens of thousands of people. I'll show you how big this crowd was. It's crazy. So look at it. It's weird if you go back, like they're way in different areas, and I was just wondering if in this broadcast somewhere he might walk by, Did you ever just kind of show up somewhere in here? Because this is like hours and hours and hours and hours of footage they had. But I'll show you how huge this crowd is. I mean, it is freaking gigantic. Look at that. Look at that. That's the other direction, you guys. I mean, that is freaking insane. I actually didn't even see that part. I didn't start watching until basically just before. But look at that massive sea of people that go back. And this is like the camera's panned, right? So look, that was to the left, behind. There's the stage way over there. So these guys were the other people, that I mean, I bet you that's 30,000 people or something. I mean, 20, 30,000. Hey, thanks, Kathy. But I'm just wondering if, like, somewhere, because what I did was he was there an hour earlier, right? So the shooting happens right around, let's see. Yeah, right here. And then for some reason they cut their mics, but it was right here. Crazy. And, you know, it is amazing that everybody stayed there. You know? Absolutely crazy. And then he comes back on, and then there's some other footage where, like, right now they're panning over there. But anyways, what I was looking at was, so this is about, in the video, it's 6:40, so that means at about 5:40, maybe even like 5:10, 5 hours and 10 minutes is when, remember he shows back up? They said he was there at like 5:10 or something. So I think, like, if you went, like, around in this time frame, if they were still, you know, maybe somewhere out there, I don't know. Parents had light bulb moment. You mean like, yeah, they went bing. Yeah, because they knew their kid was like that, don't you think, Sandy? Nah, anyways, I just wanted to show you that if anybody gets bored, they want to go look at, because he went there in the morning, I guess, you know, this thing starts, the video probably starts at like, gosh, I mean, Jesus, this is, you know, if it went at 6, so this has got to be like 11 something in the morning over here. So is it possible he's walking around in one of these somewhere? I don't know. Let's see. The suspect pointed a rifle at him. Oh yeah, it's the officer. So finding no one, one officer decided to check the roof. What do you mean finding no one? Officers were alerted by radio about a suspicious person and searched the area where Crooks had perched his rifle on a rooftop. Finding no one? What do you mean? People were yelling, "He's on the roof, you idiots!" You know? Finding no one, the officer decided to check the roof. Oh, so you're deciding to check the roof after everybody was yelling that there's somebody on the roof. The officer was hoisted onto the roof by a colleague and came face to face with the suspect, Butler Township Manager Tom Knight told CBS. Hey, thanks so much, Carla. Love going down the rabbit hole with you in chat. Yep. I think it's safe to say that the parents were a little bit of aware of something wrong with their kid, for sure. And I actually am. I believe there's just one shooter here. But my whole thing is, why was he a shooter? And then secondly, you know, how did this breakdown happen? I mean, it is just absolutely stunningly egregious, you know. It's crazy. You have these people, you know, you have them in your sights. You, as law enforcement and Secret Service, are already interested in him. He is somebody that is, people are hearing about it in their comm system. There's this guy walking around. He has a rangefinder, a backpack. He tried to avoid the magnetometers. Let's keep an eye on this guy. Oh, we lost him. Oh, there he is again. By the way, he's got his backpack. We're going up on, you know, he's somewhere over in some other area. And then people start saying, hey, there's somebody on a roof. Now, you guys didn't put 2 and 2 together. That, oh, wow, maybe that's the same guy that we were trying to follow around. And they should have had somebody's eyes on that guy every second of the day, don't you think? Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. A counter sniper flagged a suspicious man using a rangefinder to the U.S. Secret Service. Let's just go from here. A counter sniper flagged a suspicious man using a rangefinder to the U.S. Secret Service some 20 minutes before the attack started. So that, I wonder if he was on the roof using that. That seems like that would make sense. Or maybe that's when he was walking around below, according to members of Congress briefed by law enforcement. A rangefinder is an instrument that can be used to help measure the distance to a target. Local police initially spotted the gunman, who was acting strangely and had a backpack, about an hour before the shooting. They lost him in the crowd, but he was spotted again by the sniper. Okay, we got him again. Officers were alerted by radio about a suspicious person and searched the area where Crooks had perched his rifle on a rooftop. Okay, you're searching the area, but people are yelling at you that they're on the roof. You remember that video, in my video that I have, where you see the officer walking around the perimeter of the building? But how come they're doing that when people are yelling at you saying he's on the roof? Now, finding no one officer decided to check the roof. The officer was hoisted onto the roof by a colleague and came face to face with the suspect. The suspect pointed a rifle at him, and the officer, who was in the defenseless position, let go from the roof and fell to the ground. He then alerted others to the gunman. Moments later, the shooting started. So that sped up the timeline. No weapon was spotted by law enforcement when Crooks was seen in the crowd, and officials are trying to determine how no one saw his AR-15 AR-style rifle. Investigators are examining various theories, including that he had stashed it earlier in the day near the air conditioning. That's exactly what I think. Air conditioning units, or that he was somehow able to smuggle it inside his backpack. I think it's a fold. I think he put it in his backpack after he retrieved it, because he wanted to make sure that the gun made it to the location. If you had taken it in his backpack and it had been checked, he would have lost it, he would have been arrested, etc. I think he just used it to hide on his journey just on top of the roof, just that part. So he puts it in the backpack, goes up on the roof, and then up there he adjusts it. That's why the backpack's on the roof. It was used to, and I'm assuming it's a foldable style AR-15. Maybe they're all foldable, I don't know. But when the gunman was found, he was carrying a remote detonator and his car contained explosives. It continues to remain unclear what motivated the attack and whether any political ideology is to blame. Yeah, can't find. I don't know where that picture is of it, but yeah. So here, oh, that's a video. Okay, yeah. So there's the AR-15 right there. He's right there, and that's some blood that streamed down, and that's the backpack. So I think when you see early, when he's got his back to the crowd, he's up here, and he's took this out of the backpack. Although the backpack looks big enough to hold the full AR-15 in it. It's a big backpack compared to that. So, I think he got up there and he had his back to the crowd, and then he sort of laid it down, and then he shimmied his way up. I mean, it's interesting that the backpack's here. So I think what he was doing was, in this location, let's try to look at this from above. Right over here. So he starts off the backpack. Let's go look at that picture again. That wasn't it. The video. So it's in the same. I mean, that's sort of interesting. Just that by itself, there is that they're in the same line. So let's see. We're in this one, and then 1, 2, 3, the fourth one over. I know this one's correct. So you got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move it one more over. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the AR-15 is. And then the backpack is right here. Altitude. Let's see, above. relative to ground, 13 meters. Ah, shoot. Ah, God, my stomach's just going. Ah. Backpack right there. So I need to make it go lower. Hold on. Should have been. Altitude was, I think, 4 meters. There we go. Okay, and that needs to be moved over now. So now it's kind of right on the roof. You guys hear my stomach? It's just like making all these noises. It's crazy. Kathy J says, where were the people who filmed him standing at? Oh, they were just, I'll show you. The people filming him were right down here. I mean, I could actually imitate what they were doing. Some of them, a couple of them, I think they were... Now let's just go down here, go like this. Like that. Yeah, they might have been underneath the tree or something. But see that? That's what they were doing. Here, I'll play that part again. Is that the one? No, that's in school. God, you guys hear that? My stomach is just so loud. It's like I can't even keep it calm. It's like because I drank this one of those you know those ice drinks they're called with no sugar. They're so carbonated though. I'll have to turn down my mic. Oh, that was pretty interesting on this one. That was when they actually spotted him prior, walking around, observing. And that's right, that's in the front of the building. We showed that the other day. I actually have a pin right where that is. And it says shooting, walking the perimeter, but it's on the other side, or right over here around the corner. I don't know. I mean, this is just because I ate something. All right. Let's see. Let's take a look.
Reagan, like it is, already has not been.
All right. So these guys right here, they're seeing him. They're like looking at the guy on the roof over here. And they're underneath the trees. But see how that's kind of similar to what I have? You know, they might be inside. It's, you know, I can't really get in there, but maybe like that. Now they're they're about like this. See that? You can kind of look at that up there, and you can see it's similar. Yeah, so they're just right here. How about you want me, maybe I'll put a pin down for that. Let's see. Observers, or observers of man on roof, right in this area. And then you see an officer walking around like this, even though they're saying, "Hey, there's somebody on the roof." They're yelling at him. The picture we just saw a minute ago of him walking around, he's right there, exactly where this pin is in that video. So he's just walking around, but from there, look at almost right where they're spotting him is the trajectory of where he is. I mean, look how weird that is. He's standing almost exactly in the line that he shot from. He probably knows that this tree is an issue. So when he first gets on the roof, which it's interesting, right? Because the backpack is right next to this thing here. And so he climbed up and immediately got the gun out, and he moves up over there. He's found here, so he probably shimmied over a little bit to get a little better shot. So let's see if there's a reason, why would he do that? So he's right here. Why didn't he just fire from back here? I mean, to be honest with you, why didn't he just fire from here, where he would have been sort of hidden from both snipers, over in this area? Instead, it looks like he kind of maneuvers a little bit out, but he's below, so he shimmies over and he's below their sight because he's on an angled roof. So he's back here, and then he kind of starts creeping his way to the top, and makes it a shorter shot too, a little bit. And then boom, he shoots 2 shots just like that. Three, actually. There was 3 first ones. Those were all his first 3 shots. Seem to be, I bet you all 3 of those are really close to Trump. Like they just went, and then after he's taken to the ground, we know that one shot probably hit Corey Comparator in that little, like the when he's shooting multiple shots. And then likely over here too, because this one isn't directly in the line where it hit this rail. In fact, like another bullet from him should have hit over here, but there was people over here that were injured. So I guess it's possible that maybe one of the bullets that missed Trump hit somebody here, and another one, but both of the people seem to be carried out from up in this area right here. Okay, around 7-Eleven, local officer spotted Crooks and notify other law enforcement, but then lose track of him. Then at 7:45, a counter sniper officer calls in with a report of a photo of a man who turned out to be Crooks acting suspiciously around the building near the rally, according to local media report. Then 7 minutes later, U.S. Secret Service become aware of suspicious person with a rangefinder on the ground, according to sources familiar. So I bet you that's 7:52, that video where he's walking around. Familiar with the briefing to lawmakers. Kind of makes you want to go back and look at that full, like in here again. Because right at 6, okay, that's the time of the shooting. So about like, okay, that's the time of shooting, 6:40. So that would be 52 would be 18 minutes earlier. So 6:28, or no, 6:18, right? 6:18. Yeah, God, that's crazy. So this is 6:25, and look at that. That actually has the, let's try to zoom in over here. Here, watch this. See, that's it. That's the roof right there. And that's one at, this is 12 minutes before. And now he's up. Oh, that's already when something happened. Man, I just wish I had the original, all their camera footage from Right Side Broadcasting. Because they had like 3 cameras, and I bet you the recorded high definition video would be really useful. And then 1803, Trump begins speaking, and then 6:09, rally goers spot Crooks on the roof. 8:11, Crooks opens fire. He is fatally shot by Secret Service counter sniper 26 seconds later. No, that's not true. It's 15 point something seconds later. It's not 26. Gray, how do you know? Well, because we can actually hear it and see it. What do we know about him?
What have you learned about the gunman here in these past moments?
Well, Aaron, I'll start with the newest information that we just received from a briefing that the FBI conducted in the past hour or so. We're talking about Thomas Matthew Crooks. This is the 20-year-old suspect who is accused of the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. According to the FBI, we now know that they believe that he acted alone, and the FBI also believes that there's no indication of mental health issues with Mr. Crooks. We also have learned in the past hour that part of this investigation is the FBI has actually gotten access to Thomas Crooks's phone, but at this point they don't have access to the information inside the phone, and they have shipped it to Quantico, according to the FBI headquarters, to try and figure out how to get inside. And the other thing, Aaron, that perhaps is surprising, but the FBI said it on this briefing, is that they have not at this point identified any sort of ideology that would give clues to, again, the big question that everyone has: what caused this man to go to this Trump event and open fire at the former president, ultimately injuring him, killing one, and injuring two other rallygoers in the crowd. Now, I do want to just go over some of the things that we do know in addition to some of this information, Aaron. We also learned in the past hour or so that Mr. Crooks was a dietary aide at the Bethel Park Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. It's like a nursing home that's very close to where we are, not too far from his home, about 5 minutes away here in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. That organization confirmed that he was an employee, confirmed that he was a dietary aide, said that they were shocked and saddened by this news of the shooting overnight, but also noted that Crooks performed his job without concern and did pass background checks prior to getting this particular job. Now, the last thing, Aaron, that I'll mention is just a few of the things that we have been reporting, as you said, all throughout the day. We know that Mr. Crooks was a registered Republican. We also know that he donated a small amount of money to a Democratic-aligned group back in 2021, and we also know that he was in possession of an AR-style rifle, which law enforcement sources tell us was actually not just obtained legally, but also traced back to Mr. Crooks's father, and that's actually how law enforcement was able to identify their suspect in the first place, because Thomas Crooks was not found with any ID after the U.S. Secret Service agents neutralized him yesterday. But again, Aaron, the big question that we still do not have an answer to: what led him to go to that Trump campaign event and open fire?
Let's see. Yes, that's one. That's actually the shots. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, right here, they actually hear him shooting. He's looking through the gun right in that shot there. See that? Like, see him right there? That's the, you know, the, I forgot what you call it, the stock or whatever. What's it called? The, God, man. Anyways, it's just right there, and he's looking down the scope at that point. Listen. See, and then, and he's actually firing. They had been told, they had told them, hey, he's right there, you idiots, you know?
Get over here! He's right there! Oh, no.
Yeah, but anyways, crazy updates today, right, you guys? I'm doing my normal show later, but I thought I'd come on and do this show now. And you know, maybe if you, I just got sent an update about a whistleblower. I'll probably go over that later. But you know, there's also some other crazy actual cases going on out there, like this lady that's 350 pounds who sat on her, like a foster kid, and suffocated him to death. That's just what you want to see in a foster mom. But anyways, thank you guys for being here and watching this show. Thanks for all the, you know, the comments and everything. So you got GGT, Wendy Van Rokel, Pauline Buckles, Georgina Stoliker gifted a membership. Then Rue Track Z Bayera. Debbie Joe. Mo Show Me. Katya T. Mark Radzilowski. Brenna Spratt. Linda Howe. Georgina Stoliker. Terry G. Pink Peak. Jay Tharp. Kathy J. Sandy Shirley. Carla M. Kathy J. Esther M. And Stacy Cole. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Did you find that interesting at all? Because I just think, I mean, the two questions I just want are like, what were the failures? How did this happen? And then why was he a shooter? You know, I'm not thinking about, oh, there's another shooter and that kind of stuff, because I think you just get lost in the. If there was evidence of that was really clear, I would jump on it. But we get this in every case. Remember the Mandolin Bay? There was like, oh, there's another shooter, you can hear it. And I was like, no, that's actually the echo. It's not another gun. It's the echo of the first one. Yeah. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. And where the hell is that? Oh yeah, that one. I'm on the screen. No, I got it right? Mark? Okay, good. I'm usually shitty at that. But anyways, thank you guys very much for supporting the channel and helping out. And we will see you tonight. I had thought of making a 3D model of this, but I don't really need to, really. You know, I've got it's 3D here in Google Earth. You can do put the overhead exactly where everything was, the lines. I mean, it would be kind of cool to, but I don't know the height of the bleachers or anything. Hey, thank you so much, Elizabeth Capone Cook. Anyways, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, and by the way, leave a comment after the show and let me know what you were thinking of the information. Do you think the parents knew about him and that's why they were concerned? It just seems really weird to be that concerned about a 20-year-old that soon. You know, even the same day, right? Like, hey, and you're calling the cops, and then after the shooting you call again. That means you know that your kid has a likelihood of being involved in that. So I think that's going to be interesting. But yeah, don't worry. We'll keep, you know, when there's updates, and you know, if I think of something, some way to put something together that makes it more interesting, I'll do that too. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you guys later tonight. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Whoa, look at that guy.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person.
It's a trucker bunny,
that
honey.
is a crime dissector.
Peace.
Like projector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his spectre. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later.
You know, I just realized my mic was still had 8+ gain on it because of how low something. Yeah, yesterday when we were playing the convention on the other channel, it was so low, so I boosted it up, and man, you guys I must have been blowing your eardrums out. Jesus, that's crazy. All right, anyways, see you guys later.